You're listening to a community story from Be My Eyes.
Yeah, my name is Brandon Cole. I am a game accessibility advocate and consultant, as well as a content creator, streamer, blogger, podcaster, YouTuber, whatever you want to call it. I'm a lot of things. Hobbyist voice actor as well. Um, uh, to briefly describe the journey that I've taken to get here, I started blogging back in 2005 as kind of a almost a throwaway type of thing. Like I was encouraged by my fiance to do it, so I did it. And that blog got some attention. That got me involved in some events like GDC 2014, where I spoke on a panel about accessibility in mobile games. And that got me involved in the Game Accessibility Conference, the first ever Game Accessibility Conference in 2017, which really solidified this is what I wanted to do for my career. I realized, I think then, that's what I wanted to do. So I spoke at Game Accessibility Conference. That met me up with my first major contract, which was Naughty Dog. I worked on The Last of Us Part 2 for 3 years, and that's how I got there. And I've never really looked back since. It's just been a wild ride since then. Everyone deserves a chance at finding a job, finding a career path, making their own way in life. I think why not is the bigger and better question, because why not? I mean, why should anyone have any fewer work rights than anyone else? Why shouldn't people be accommodated? It's amazing to realize this, but there are people out there in this world who technically have a disability, even if it's like a really low grade disability, and don't even think of their disability as a disability. But if it came up where something inhibited with their ability to work, they would want to be accommodated too. Why shouldn't everyone be? It is important because every human being deserves a chance at finding their path, finding their way in life. If I don't have the proper accommodations at a workplace, it is pretty much guaranteed that my opinion of said workplace is going to drop pretty drastically. To be clear, if I don't have the accommodations and no one is working with me to help me get the accommodations, no one is willing to assist or provide those accommodations, that's when my worry starts to creep in. That's when my dislike of a company may start to creep in, because as long as I feel like if you don't have the accommodations, as long as someone acknowledges that when you bring it up, and as long as someone is willing to assist you in getting those accommodations, someone in the upper echelon of the company, or wherever you can go, as long as they're willing to assist you in getting those accommodations, that's okay. Because it's kind of like working in game accessibility like I do. I have to sell the idea of accessibility and what that actually means to companies too. So I don't immediately fly off the handle if a company doesn't automatically have all the accommodations that I need. Because the thing is, this is just the straight truth, is that a lot of people just don't know. A lot of game developers, in my case, don't really know what blind accessibility means, and how to approach it. And that goes for companies hiring the blind as well, or the disabled as well. Sometimes they just don't know what accommodation someone needs until the idea is brought up and the subject is brought up. So it's all about finding the right people. Yes, you do need to find people that are willing to work with you, but then you, as the employee, need to be willing to educate them on what is required and what is needed. And if they're willing to listen and you can get those accommodations, hey, they might just be a good place to work. I think my best personal experiences when I got the right support from my employer, I think I'll probably have to go way back to my time working at a call center for 10 years. As tempting as it is to talk about things like The Last of Us 2, the honest truth is that I didn't really need much in the way of accommodation for that job. I was most of that job was conversation and brainstorming and back and forth in that way, and game testing, which obviously I don't need anything additional for that, given that the things that I'm testing are blind accessibility features. So no accommodation is really required for that. But to go back to my 10-year stint at a call center, I think some of the best support that I got was from one of my bosses at the time, who was really understanding, really accommodating, and was willing to work with me to make it so I could execute the job as best as I could. I got the position of supervisor at that call center, and I was pretty high level supervisor. I made it up pretty far. I almost made it to the upper echelon of management there. Didn't quite make it there. 9 attempts. That's another story. We'll talk about it another time. Anyway, no. So one of my bosses noticed that there was a form that we had to fill out every day. Every single day we had to fill this form out. Basically, it was a description of what we had done that day. Any agents we had coached, the things we're working on with every agent, the results of that coaching, so on and so forth. That form was totally inaccessible. It was ridiculous. It was on a website that I could access the website, but actually attempting to fill out the form in the way they want you to fill it out did not work with screen readers whatsoever. So my boss at the time, really nice guy. I still talk to him. I left that call center. I still talk to this guy. Really nice guy. He wanted to help me out. So what he did was he took that form and he made an Excel template. And basically he sent that to me, and every day I would fill out that Excel template. And he was kind enough to then transpose that the results of that template into the form that we were supposed to fill out, so everything was properly documented and things like that. And that was awesome. Like, first of all, it gave me respect for him as a boss, because he was willing to do that for me. He was willing to work with me. And secondly, it allowed me to execute the things that I was supposed to do. It basically removed my concern about not being able to do my own job, while I was there. So it was really, really an awesome example of support.
Thank you for listening to this community story from Be My Eyes. You can share your story too. Send it to mystory@bemyeyes.com. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, download our app, or visit bemyeyes.com/community-stories for more.